All right, welcome to
Good morning.
Giants Sports Talk Live morning edition. Up here early in the AM, Glenn.
And you know what? It's hump day. That's the only reason I feel alive.
Mm.
Last few days, I wanted to get into your coffee pot there because the Pepsi
Yes.
wasn't even cutting it. You got your Mickey roast, your dark roast. It's a little rough
Yes.
getting up to do the show early in the morning, but we record and it flips right up online so you can listen to it or watch it anytime during the day. We talk Giants baseball. What did we have happen last night, Eric? It was not pretty.
No.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giants Sports Talk Live.
All
great
right.
Start, bad finish.
Yes. Oh,
Or
my.
a great first inning, bad 8.
Yes. Oh, what happened? First inning, Giants looked like they're going to come out and do some demolishing. They put up 4 runs in the first.
Yeah.
Bottom half, they were able to prevent any runs coming across. Birdsong looked okay in the first, but then bottom of the second occurred, and it all changed. Nationals were able to put up 5 runs, and they weren't looking back. They were able to put up 11 runs against the Giants, 7 against Birdsong, 4 against the bullpen. Yeah, it wasn't a very good day yesterday for the San Francisco Giants.
What disappointed me the most about the outing yesterday, Eric, was the fact we got off to such a great start. You know, when you get your pitcher, and I mentioned it last night for our viewers on the regular edition of Giant Sports Talk Live, we get off to such a great start. The pitcher comes in, he's like, this is great. I got a 4-0 lead on the road. It's a great day to be a ball player for the Giants, right? Nope.
Great.
Heliot Ramos back early from the bruised thumb. He belted a 448-foot home run to deep center. He looked like he was feeling good. And then Marcana got hit by a pitch. Matt Chapman had walked, so there were a couple of ducks on the pond. And an unlikely hero of sorts for the Giants, Michael Conforto homered 434 feet. So a couple of big bombs from the big boys in the Giant lineup who can swing the bat. It was already 4-0 in that game. And then, Eric, it imploded.
It did. I mean, I don't know if that's a sign of fatigue. I don't think that's what it was. He just had a bad game. Talking about Hayden Birdsong, it's going to happen. Unfortunately, the bullpen, they also gave up 4 runs. You don't want to see that. And they've been spectacular the last couple of outings. So it was a bad day of baseball. But this is the worst time to have it because the Giants, what they got to do, they got to win, man, because there's a lot of teams ahead of them that are also winning. And, with all this winning that they've had and a couple of losses on the road trip, they're still sitting at 4.5 games behind that third wild card. So it's going to take a Herculean effort for them to get back into that playoff picture.
I know it might be a minuscule thing for me to be upset about, not for Eric, the Debbie Downer in this operation, but here we are trying to chase 500. Again, we're 57-58 entering today's game.
Yeah, there we go again. Back below 500. It's kind of the story of the Giants this whole year.
But I'm not going to bitch about it. Not going to bitch about it, Eric. You know what? Even the best teams lose in Major League Baseball almost a third of the time. And the worst teams, they win a third of the time. So you're bound to have some days when you don't win. So you can't win them all.
You can't win them all. Not at all. All right. Let's get into what today's docket is going to provide here in the MLB. I know yesterday there were some postponements. I think we're going to see some double headers in here to make up for those missed games. Here, let's take a look what we got here. Right off the rip, early in the morning, Pacific time, 10:10, you got the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Cleveland Guardians. This is going to be one of the double headers because they got rained out because of weather last night. And that first game, you got Brandon Pfaadt going up against Ben Lively.
And here we are on midweek Wednesday, Eric. You and I are up early. So are the players, and so are the fans in certain cities. We've got 3 games on the docket today that are getting underway before noon, including Minnesota at Chicago. Joe Ryan trying to break his 500 mark at 7-7. Javier Assad is 5-3. He's had a recent injury, so he's back in the lineup. Ryan Assad today, Minnesota at Chicago.
Yeah, and there's that team, Chicago. That's a team that's trying to catch up to the San Francisco Giants. So let's see what they do. Again, it's going to be a race to that third wild card. Got Houston versus Texas at Texas. The Astros almost had a no-hitter. Framber Valdez was 1 out away, spoiled by Corey Seager's home run. So, but they were able to hold on to the victory 4-2 yesterday. But today it's going to be Yusei. Did I pronounce that right? Kikuchi versus Jose Urena. Again,
and you know where they got him from?
Kikuchi was a deadline pickup that they picked up from the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, tomorrow is a day when you don't know what'll happen. But for today, Eric, if I was to, come up with my pick to click, it would be the Oakland Athletics. Chicago, they've already won their one game. So the Oakland A's, I predict, will snap the one-game winning streak. It's Oakland and Chicago. If you weren't watching Giant Sports Talk Live, we took a deep dive into the game over at the Coliseum. Oakland, they lost to Chicago, and that meant Chicago snapped their 21-game losing streak. I think they start another one all over tonight. And actually, that is an afternoon game. It's over at the Coliseum. Maybe I'll head over for that one a little bit later. I'm already up early. 12:37 start.
And here we got another series that's going to have a doubleheader because of weather last night. The Los Angeles Angels going up against the New York Yankees in the Bronx. Could be a 105 start. You got Davis Daniel facing off against Luis Gil.
It amazes me, Eric. You can see 2 games of baseball in one of the largest markets in Major League Baseball in North America for $3. Look at that. Tickets as low as $6 for Los Angeles at New York.
Yeah,
and
how about that?
It's going to be a doubleheader. So $3 a game. They're hoping you spend lots on merch and hot dogs and sodas and everything else there. The Yankees, as Eric mentioned, it's a double dipper today. Now, Arizona plays at Cleveland. Not a whole lot to talk about as far as that one is
second
concerned.
game, by the way.
Nothing game.
That's also the second part of the doubleheader. Yep.
Yes, so we talked about that, and really nothing for me to mention in that one. You want to pick up at Miami?
Yeah, there you go. Got Cincinnati, who's been red hot. They've won the last 2 against Miami. The man of the day for Cincinnati, I should say man of the last 2 days, has been Ellie De La Cruz. Had 2 games, went 4 for 5 in both games. So he's on a hot streak right now. Let's see what he could do in Miami. Again, it's going to be Andrew Abbott versus Valente Bellozo. I think don't kill me for the name butchering.
It's all good, Eric. It's all good. You probably nailed it. You nailed just about everything else on this show. You hold it together.
I try.
Pittsburgh. Here's one. See the note beside the game? FS1. So if the boss is away, maybe you got a little portable TV, you got the app on your phone, watch some baseball this afternoon. Gets underway at 3:40. Pittsburgh, San Diego, the Pirates are holding a 1-game edge over the Giants in the wild card race. Pirates are 500 team, 56-56. Michael King for the Padres, who've been pretty hot as of late. Marco Gonzalez, 1-1 young pitcher for the Pirates. You catch that one?
There you go. Absolutely. And the Padres, just to kind of piggyback on that, they're a hot team along with Arizona. In their last 10, they've won 8.
We'll take a look at the Giants in Washington to wrap it up. Let's jump ahead, Eric.
Yep, there we go. We got the second game of the Angels versus the Yankees occurring at 4:05. It will be Carson Fulmer versus Will Warren for that second game of the Angels versus the Yankees.
I know it's early in the morning, Eric. I don't need the aggravation. Here's another one. If you look beside that game, Prime Video. I never know where to find these games when I want to watch them or catch some highlights.
Oh, I know. I don't understand. Yeah.
It's hard enough with all the networks that cover games these days.
You got the different networks.
And I can only watch it online.
You got the Apple, you got the Roku, you got the ESPN, you got the MLB. Yeah, it's all over the place.
But what is Prime Video? Is that do we got to pay for that game?
Amazon, yeah.
Jeez. All right. I'll stick to perhaps the Blue Jays. They're playing today at the Rogers Center in Toronto, a 4:07 start. Baltimore and Toronto. And if you were with us on the show last night, we were talking about the Orioles and the Blue Jays in the game they played yesterday. Surprisingly, Toronto looked good in their game yesterday with Baltimore. So the Orioles, they're having a great year. They suffered a 5-2 setback, trying to get back in the winning ways today. Again, up in Canada.
There you go. And then the next game got Milwaukee, the Brewers versus the Atlanta Braves. Milwaukee was able to take that first game. I think it was the first game, if I'm not mistaken. Freddie Peralta versus Chris Sale. Chris Sale's having a fantastic year. So
they were saying in our chat last night, everybody's predicting that Sale, remember we had a young guy, Carter, came on. He goes, Sale is going to be the rookie of the year.
No. Cy Young.
Oh, Cy Young. Did I say rookie?
You said rookie. It's too early in the morning, man. Too early in the morning. So, yeah, Freddie Peralta versus Chris Sale should be a good game at 4:20 p.m. Pacific.
I apologize. Another team we're trying to catch in the wild card race, St. Louis, Tampa in St. Louis, under the arch at 4:45. Again, if you want to do some traveling, you go, honey, what should we do on a road trip? Just go to a Cardinals game for $2.
Phew. A lot of cheap games tomorrow. Look at that. And it's going to be Taj Bradley versus Eric Fetty. Eric Fetty being one of the trade deadline acquisitions that St. Louis was able to complete during the deadline.
As always, you're correct.
Yep, and that's another team, the Cardinals, that the Giants are trying to catch to secure a wild card spot. Boston at Kansas City. Boston took the first one. You're going to have Cutter Crawford, who's been pitching very well for Boston, against Cole Ragans, also another pitcher that has been pitching very good for the Kansas City Royals. That'll be underway at 5:10 in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.
Should be a nice day there, Eric, in Kansas City. Always a great day for a ball game over there. 84 degrees, sunny, but we're keeping an eye on the weather office. We don't have an update this morning. They're just still calling for heavy rains on a cloudy, wet day in Colorado. So Colorado is going to be suffering from heavy rains. New York, Colorado, 540. That one is listed as probably in doubt, but weather permitting.
There you go. Yep, Paul Blackburn. That's one of the guys that the Mets acquired on a trade deadline from the Oakland A's. So that should be an interesting. Again, New York, another team that is battling for that wild card. Detroit at Seattle. Let's see. That's going to be MLB Network and ESPN Plus. So you got two networks that are covering that. Maybe it's just an association type thing. You got Tariq Skubal versus George Kirby. That should be a fantastic pitching duo or pitching matchup between Skubal and Kirby.
I catch Giants chatter, little chatter, like on Rambo.
Yeah.
Where I go for a little chatter. One of the other Giants shows. I have heard that name, Skubal, till I'm hearing it in my sleep. Jeez, they love Skubal, don't they? Tarek Skubal is. I thought he might be dealt. I thought so too. He came out after the trade deadline. He goes, "I hate it here." So it can't be a very good environment inside that Detroit locker room. Philadelphia, LA, Philadelphia, flip a coin. You never know what you're getting from them here in the month of August. Early, unpredictable team. They're playing in LA. We all know what LA brings to the table. They're 66-48. Tyler Phillips pitching for the Phillies, 3-1 this year. And Gavin Stone brings a 9-5 mark into that game. And you know what? No fear of a washout. When was the last time they rained out in L.A.? Like 1961 or something?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's kind of similar for San Francisco. You normally don't get a rain out in San Francisco as well.
No. Well, you know what the song says? Never rains in Southern California.
Well, there you go. There you go. But that is the full docket for today. We'll see if weather plays a factor.
You forgot one.
Oh, did we forget one?
Eric, it's called Giants Sports Talk Live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Let's get back up to this. I forgot all about that one. Oh,
the blind leading the blind early in the morning.
Oh, my gosh. What am I talking about? The question is,
who's hitting the... I'm heading back to bed. Who gets back to bed early? First, you or I? We got the Giants in Washington. Eric, tell us about that game.
You got Blake Snell, who is just coming off of his no-hitter against Jake Irvin. 3:45 start Pacific. Again, let's make sure hopefully weather doesn't play a factor. I don't think it sounds like it's just going to be cloudy, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be humid. You got that tropical storm coming up from the south, and I'm sure it is not going to be pleasant in Washington, D.C. As far as the humidity is concerned. You think Blake Snell is going to be the stopper? Nationals came out swinging the bats pretty good yesterday.
He's pitching well.
He is.
Well, just toss that no-hitter. So if you're looking for something to do, you're traveling today, you're going to be landing over in Dulles. $7 to get into a game to see your San Francisco Giants on the road. if, in fact, they get that one in. You can catch it locally on the radio, KNBR 680, or you can get it on NBC Sports Bay Area. We've got complete wrap-up tonight on Giant Sports Talk Live. And again, if you missed it last night on our show, we are planning a fantasy football league, but it's first come, first serve. Giants Sports Talk Live at gmail.com. That's Giants Sports Talk Live. There it is. All right. So
there you go.
Eric, thanks, buddy.
You bet.
Giant Sports Talk Live, give us an email, and you can solidify your spot in our pool. We got more talk on that coming up tonight. Recap of the Giants in Washington. Thank you to our sponsor, Lefties, on Giant Sports Talk Live Morning Edition, and we will see you tonight, Eric.
See you tonight, Glenn.
Woo!
See ya.